Hi children. Children, today we are going to do with the chapter pollution of water and air. Right? First of all, let us talk about what is pollution and the living things originated and why do and how do living things originated and they survived on the earth. Right? There are reasons, children, that all the materials which are required by living things, they are present on the earth, such as air, water, soil and minerals. And mainly the temperature of the earth is also favorable, which allows the living things to live on the earth. The earth is at the right distance, right? The temperature is also favorable because the distance between the earth and the sun is right, which is maintaining the temperature on the earth also. Children, we all know that animals, they need oxygen, water and food to survive. They get oxygen from the air. Water they get from the water bodies such as ponds, lake, rivers, etc. Okay, so let us talk about the water first. Clear? Children, as we all know that we need water for drinking, for washing, for bathing and for many other purposes like cooking food, etc. Farmers, they are needing also water for growing crops and raising animals. Factories, they need water to produce steel, petrol, paper, etc. There are so many plants and animals which are living in water. Therefore, all of them, those who are needing water, we always need a clean water. So children, the consumption of water by humans has grown up. Human beings are also consuming water and the consumption of water has grown up. Why? Because of the increasing of the population. As the population increasing, the amount of water is also required more and more by the people as number of people are increasing. Right? Children, like we need water for the production of paper, for dyeing of cloths, for tanning of leather, etc. They are all these things, they are using large amount of water. Children, we have learned earlier that water is a, we say that water is a renewable, right? Renewable resource. How do we say water is a renewable resource? Because the water bodies, the water which is present in the water bodies get heat of the sun, evaporate. When they evaporate, they change into water vapor and rises up. As water vapor is rising up, it cools down. Okay, when it cools down, it changes into the drops of water and makes the cloud. When it becomes very heavy for them to hold those water droplets, it fall down as rain. So children, this is because water is recycled naturally in the environment. We say that water can be recycled in the environment. By which process? This process is called water cycle. Water goes up, comes down, back to the earth again. So this is known as water cycle. Now children, let us talk about water pollution. Water pollution. Children, water is said to be polluted if it contains impurities which are harmful to humans, animals, plants, right? Or to the environment. The impurities which are harmful to the environment, to the plants, to the animals, that is known as pollutants, right? So those substances are also known as pollutants or water pollutants. River and seas, they have traditionally been used for the disposal of waste such as sewage, industrial waste. If the amount of waste dumped is not very high, the natural process of decay ensures that water pollution remains within the manageable level. If pollution is controlled, then that can be manageable. However, with an ever increasing human population, children, increasing number of industries, the amount of waste which goes into the water is very high. So the natural process of decay cannot cope with such large amount of waste. The water in river and seas therefore becomes more and more polluted, so much so that several rivers in India, including Ganga, they have become dead at some places. Like the water is so much polluted that we say that this part of the Ganga has become dead. The pollution level is so high. Attempts to clean the river have not had many success, right? It is not getting much success because people are not helping out in that. You all must have heard about Ganga action plan or Namo Gange, where our Prime Minister Narendra Modi is also saying that we should all take care of cleaning Ganga, because Ganga river is also considered as our holy river. So children, what are the main causes? right? Main causes of water pollution. The main cause is the sewage. Sewage means the water which becomes dirty, like in our house also. The water becomes dirty when we are using it for bathing, for washing, for cleaning, and it is we are using water in the toilets also. The water, that is the sewage. When this sewage is disposed into the rivers, the river is also getting polluted. In villages where proper sanitation facilities are not available, people are going to defecate in the open areas. And when it rains, rainwater is falling on the ground, mixing with that human excreta and getting the whole water polluted. So, children, these waste contain many harmful microorganisms. What are the microorganisms which are contained by the waste? Microorganisms which are contained by the waste, they are bacteria, virus, fungi, etc. Parasites are also, which are causing different diseases in human beings like diarrhea, dysentery, cholera, etc. Now, children, next is the industrial. Okay, industrial waste means industries are providing a lot of waste, like leather industry, textile industries, chemical industries. They are all throwing out poisonous compounds of lead, mercury, etc. into the water bodies, hence making the whole water body polluted badly, right? The water becomes poisonous of these water bodies. Now, children, the temperature of the wastewater from factories that is discharged into river is often higher than the temperature of the river water. The resultant increase in the river water temperature itself, right? This polluted water is increasing the temperature also. And children, there are so many animals, those who are living in water, they cannot live in that. They, I mean, cannot bear that much temperature. So they sometimes start dying because of this. Next is the fertilizers and pesticides. Clear? Children, fertilizers are used by the farmers, pesticides are used by the farmers to kill the pest. And when these chemicals, they are falling on the plants also, it is falling on the soil also. When it rains or when water comes over there, they get washed off by rain into the water sources. Means they are mixing with the water, and when this water is running to the water body, they are also running. So they also seep into the ground. That water which is carrying fertilizer or pesticides, if that water seeps under the ground, then it is polluting the groundwater also. Pesticides such as DDT can get into the bodies of fishes through water, and the people, those who are eating fish, if they eat those fish, of course they are going to face some or the other problem, because it becomes poisonous when they eat those fish. Clear? When fertilizers run off into water resources, they cause an increase in the growth of algae in water. Children, that is known as eutrophication. Right? Eutrophication also takes place when these algae, they are all covering the water bodies, right? They are not allowing oxygen, reducing oxygen content even. This thick growth stops the sunlight also from reaching the water. So this enrichment of water by nutrients, which leads to excessive plant growth and depletion of oxygen, this is known as eutrophication. Clear? Now, children, let us say that chemical fertilizers and pesticides, they do not decompose by natural methods. So they are also infecting water. Now, children, potable water. Okay, let us talk about the potable water. Now, what is potable water? Children, if we drink the polluted water in river and lakes, we may fall ill. Water also gets polluted at several places underground and becomes unsuitable for drinking. Water has to be treated to make it suitable. We need to treat water so that it becomes suitable for drinking. Water that is suitable for drinking, that is known as potable water. Potable water should be clean, and it should be suitable for drinking also. Children, at homes, in offices, and several type of filters are used to remove solid impurities from drinking water. In these filters, a porous pot of ceramic is used as filter. As the water passes through the fine pores, the solid impurities, normally the solid impurities from the water is removed out through filtration. Okay, children, there are many other ways which are helping at home. Also, water can be made potable. We can make water potable at home also. How? By following few methods. Number one is by boiling the water. We all know that if we boil the water, of course, all the germs and microorganisms, they will be killed if you boil water for 15 to 20 minutes. Second is, children, ultraviolet rays. Okay, special type of light which is known as ultraviolet light. Ultraviolet light, if you say, it would be better. Ultraviolet light which kills germs. It is used in several water purifiers which are available in the market. Another system which we are all having at home, that is RO system, or reverse osmosis. Water is passed through a special membrane called semi-permeable membrane. It has got very fine pores through which water can pass through, but not the impurities. Impurities are not passing, but only water passes through it. One more method is known as chlorination. Now, children, chlorination means what happens? Chlorine is added to water in the form of chlorine tablets or bleaching powder that kills the germs. However, care has to be taken to add the right quantity. If we are adding chlorine, we should see that it has to be added in a right quantity. Now, children, the water treatment plant which is there in the waterworks. Every city is having waterworks from where the water is supplied to each and every part of the plant. They are having the water treatment plant also. Means the water which we are getting from the water bodies, that water needs to be treated first before it is supplying to our house. So children, when we are doing this water treatment plant, we see that it is following these steps. Number one is sedimentation. So children, what happens? This is first done to remove large particles of solid impurities, right? Next, alum is added into the water, or you can say that alum is added to the water to separate the smaller particles by making them heavier so that they settle down. This method is called loading. With the help of loading, by adding alum into the water, the solid impurities, they settle down. Water is then filtered, right? Then filtration process, or you can say that the water is filtered once the loading process has been done, right? Now children, after this, the germs are killed by adding chlorine. Last step is by adding chlorine. The germs are killed and this water can be supplied now. Water conservation, children. How and why do we need to conserve the water? The amount of water conservation should be proper, because the purpose of water conservation is to increase the amount of clean water which is available. So what are the methods? Use less water and avoid wastage of water. Use better methods of irrigation like drip irrigation, where water is supplied drop by drop, means there is no wastage of water. Recycling of water in factories, effective flood control should be there. Soil conservation methods, they increase the level of the groundwater. Treating sewage and factory waste before disposing them into the water bodies. Using biodegradable fertilizers and water harvesting of rainwater to raise the groundwater level. Clear? These are the ways of water consumption. Now children, let us talk about air and air pollution. We all know that air is an extremely important natural resource, and we all know that we just cannot live even for few minutes without air. So air is supposed to be very important. It contains small quantities of other gases. When we are talking about air, we know that air is actually a mixture of gases which is containing nitrogen, hydrogen, oxygen, then carbon dioxide. So many gases are present in the air. We know that nitrogen is 78%, oxygen is 21%, and the 1% which is left is made by carbon dioxide and many other gases. Air also contains the other gases as well as some water vapor is also present in the air. Now children, air pollution. There are so many things present in the air like dust, smoke, solid particles. They are all known as contaminants which are making the air polluted, or you can also call them as pollutants. Air pollution is mainly caused by burning of fuels in power plants, children, and industries and vehicles, and also burning firewood at home. This gives off particles of carbon gases such as carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, etc. These are all gases which are produced, and these gases are polluting finally the whole air. Now, suspended particulate matter. Okay, suspended particulate matter, which is also known as SPM. Children, the small particles suspended in the air, they are known as SPM or suspended particulate matter. Unburned carbon particle given out during the burning of fuels or from the exhaust of vehicles and fine particles of cement gives out from a factory. They are examples of SPM. Now, let us talk about carbon monoxide. Children, carbon dioxide is a gas which is used by plants, but it is not useful for us, but it is not so harmful as carbon monoxide is harmful, right? This is one of the most dangerous pollutant and considered as extremely poisonous. Mixes with the blood and prevents it from carrying oxygen. We all know that blood carries oxygen. Hemoglobin present in the blood which carries oxygen and known as oxyhemoglobin. But if carbon monoxide is there, it is not allowing blood to carry oxygen, means supply of oxygen is also controlled by this. This is produced whenever fuels do not burn completely. When fuels are burning completely, it will produce carbon dioxide. When fuels are not burning completely, it produces carbon monoxide. Now children, excess of carbon dioxide. Okay, excess of carbon dioxide which is produced by burning the fuel or by burning automobile. Carbon dioxide itself is not a pollutant. It itself is not a pollutant, but it is useful for plants also. But since so much fuel is being burned today, the carbon dioxide content in the air is increasing. Also, deforestation reduces the number of trees and carbon dioxide from which utilize carbon dioxide during photosynthesis. When trees are being cut, okay, then the use of carbon dioxide is also reducing. So the amount of carbon dioxide is increasing in the nature. Excess carbon dioxide in the atmosphere traps the heat of the sun. This is called greenhouse effect. Okay, if excess of carbon dioxide is there, you all know that when the heat of the sun falls on the earth, some of the heat is absorbed by the earth and the extra heat is reflected back by the earth. But when excess of carbon dioxide is there, it is not allowing extra heat to reflect back from the earth and causes greenhouse effect. Means this is believed to cause an increase in the temperature of earth, which is known as global warming. Scientists believe that the average global warming may rise as much as 2 degrees Celsius by the end of the century. Now children, some other gases like methane, nitrogen oxide, water vapor, they also contribute towards the greenhouse effect, and they are also known as greenhouse gases. Now let us talk about sulfur dioxide. Okay, sulfur dioxide. This is present in coal as the impurity. So when coal is burned, factories or power plants, from that sulfur dioxide is given out. Children, this sulfur dioxide is very poisonous. It affects our lungs, and this sulfur dioxide combines with oxygen present in the air, combines with oxygen, and it forms sulfur trioxide. This reacts with the water and forms sulfuric acid, which forms down as rain, known as acid rain, right? Acids which are forming, like the gases, they react with water to form nitric acid, sulfuric acid, and these acids are coming down to the earth with rain, which causes acid rain. Rain makes the sulfuric acid and it causes acid rain. Now nitrogen dioxide. Nitrogen dioxide is given off by the exhaust of automobiles and by some industries. It is also very poisonous. Now children, another gas which is known as CFC, full form chlorofluorocarbon. Okay, so this CFC is a compound used in refrigerator, air conditioners and aerosols. Okay, they damage the ozone layer in the atmosphere, causing an increase in the amount of ultraviolet rays from the sun reaching the earth. Ozone layer is covering our earth and protecting our earth from ultraviolet rays. When ozone layer is damaged, obviously ultraviolet rays can reach to the earth. They cause damage to our eyes and even they cause damage to the skin. Even they cause skin cancer also. Thankfully, CFC are now being replaced by other compounds and the damage of the ozone layer has been reduced. Next is children, lead. A lead compound is added to petrol to prevent engine from knocking. Lead compounds emitted by exhaust of automobiles, they are also absorbed by our bodies. Now children, so we all know these are all pollutants present in the air and how are they damaging the air. So we should study how to conserve the air. Conservation of air. Now let's see. Children, it can be done by number one, you are aware that plants clean the air. So plant more and more saplings. If you increase number of green plant, means we are we are helping in cleaning the environment also, you can say. Because they are absorbing excess of carbon dioxide and in return they are producing more of oxygen gas. Now use of efficiently designed smokeless stoves for burning. They are also helping in controlling the pollution. Use of smokeless fuel. We should use, children, lots of LPGs and CNG because they are smokeless fuels. They are not producing smoke, which is helping to control the standard or the control the pollution in the air. Next is to prevent vehicular pollution. New cars are fitted with a special system that is known as catalytic converters. The vehicles, four-wheelers, are normally having this catalytic converters. It can change harmful exhaust like carbon monoxide and nitrogen dioxide into harmless carbon dioxide, nitrogen and water. The use of unleaded petrol also reduces the release of harmful pollutant. In factories, powerhouse and petroleum refineries, the gases given off are scrubbed down with water before being released from the chimneys. Children, some factories are using electrostatic precipitators to remove particles of solids such as carbon from waste gases before they are allowed to mix in the atmosphere. So these are the ways, if we follow, we can conserve the air also. Clear? That's all for today, children. Thank you so much.